China's Xi calls for unity on National Day, protesters march overseas. China marked National Day over the weekend with goose-stepping soldiers, calls for national unity, and an army-produced anime film depicting unification with the self-ruling island of Taiwan, as protesters against Communist Party rule took to the streets of cities around the world. At a dinner reception in the Great Hall of the People ahead of October 1's anniversary, President Xi Jinping told hundreds of guests, "Our future is bright, but the road ahead will not be smooth." He added, "Unity is strength, and confidence is worth more than gold." Meanwhile, in an animated short film, the Eastern Theater Command of the People's Liberation Army hinted at the army's readiness to invade Taiwan. The movie, named Dreams Come True on the Fujian River, depicted mythological characters yearning to inhabit a famous landscape painting located in Taiwan. It also incorporates elements such as aircraft carrier formations and J-20 fighter jets, highlighting the tremendous progress and ever-changing capabilities of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. London protests. In London, hundreds of people took to the streets over the weekend with banners supporting Uyghurs, Mongolians, Tibetans, and Hong Kongers, with some shouting "Hong Kong is not China." They marched from Trafalgar Square to the Chinese embassy, where some protesters tore up a Chinese national flag, letting it get run over by passing traffic. The U.S.-based Campaign for Uyghurs called on people around the world to peacefully protest in front of Chinese embassies and consulates, demanding an end to the atrocities committed against the Uyghur people, to mark China's National Day. The group's executive director Rushan Abbas said in a statement, "China's National Day is not a day of celebration for the Uyghur people." He continued, "It is a painful reminder of the 74 years of suffering we have endured due to China's occupation of East Turkestan. By protesting peacefully in front of Chinese embassies and consulates around the world, we can collectively raise our voices and demand an immediate end to the genocidal policies and abuses against the Uyghur population. We have responsibilities." A Hong Konger surnamed Ng said he goes to every Hong Kong protest because he feels he has a responsibility. Ng said, "There are Hong Kong people wherever you go, and certain things need to be done." He added, "As regular citizens, we have responsibilities. If you care about a place, you will naturally want to do something to help it, and we still identify as Hong Kongers," he said. "Even here in the UK, we will always feel like we will one day go back there." Tokyo March. Similar protests were seen over the weekend in several British cities, while dozens of Uyghurs, Tibetans, Mongolians, and Hong Kongers rallied outside the Chinese embassy in Tokyo after marching through the downtown hub of Shibuya. A speaker said at the start of the march, "We are strongly dissatisfied with the oppression of the Chinese Communist Party of the Chinese people and of all ethnic groups. We want to make our voices heard today. Give Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, and Hong Kong their freedom back," chanted the protesters, who numbered nearly 100. When the marchers arrived at the Chinese embassy, Japanese police prevented more than 5 demonstrators from gathering outside at any time, sending them in to make their protests in groups by turn. Sawat Mohammed, director of the Japan Uyghur Association, said October 1st is a day of national mourning for Uyghurs, because their home country of East Turkestan was subsumed by the People's Republic of China on that day. "Some people have raised the issue of Uyghur forced labor," he said. "Such products are also exported to Japan, and some products from Xinjiang can also be seen on sale in Japan." He added, "So at this time, we would like to strongly appeal to democratic countries, including Japan, to pay attention to the Uyghur issue, and even more attention to the issue of Uyghur forced labor." Taiwan-based activist Fu Tong told Radio Free Asia, "Freedom and democracy collapsed in Hong Kong due to the infiltration of the Chinese Communist Party." Fu added, "We don't want other democratic countries to wind up like Hong Kong, so we have to stand up and tell everyone about our experience." For earthquakes hit China within 24 hours. In recent years, China has been hit by many disasters and anomalies, from bloody suns and bloody rivers to sandstorms and floods, wreaking havoc on people's lives and properties. Most recently, four earthquakes occurred in mainland China in less than 24 hours. According to Apollo News, from the evening of October 1st to 2nd, noon, four earthquakes happened in 2 provinces of Sichuan and Guizhou, with magnitudes ranging from 3.3 to 4.4. A netizen comments that earthquakes are getting more frequent these days. In early September this year, Days of relentless rain from the remnants of former Typhoon Haikui caused serious floods and landslides. These disasters killed at least 7 people and forced more than 1,000 residents trapped in floodwaters in China's south. Unrelenting rain and harmful floods make citizens remember methods to prevent surging rivers. One video circulated showed 16 truck drivers driving into the torrent with rocks to block the breach. This happened on July 10, 2016, when Huarong County in Hunan Province suffered a breach in the Hongqi embankment due to continuous heavy rainfall. The rolling flood water was so fierce that it left countless villagers trapped. 16 drivers volunteered to block the dam break by driving their trucks into the water. Several people had just bought a new car, and their whole family relied on it. However, they did not hesitate to execute the mission. In the end, 13 trunks were sunk into the breach, effectively stopping the floodwaters from spreading to both sides and saving many lives.
Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from Understand China, and thank you for tuning in.